That's pretty much
There's
how
parts.
most of the UK busts are because they have the what is their law technically called? They can hold a person to the police. They can citizens arrest basically right there.
Yeah.
But their laws are so
Mhm.
laxed on in most European countries. It's like a slap on the wrist for them.
The cops will
So
come within 60 minutes, but then they'll just be let go most of the time.
yeah, because they don't have any hardcore concrete proof, or. But here's the thing: what they were saying, because I think they even talked about law enforcement, talked to the law enforcement agencies after, and asked them why don't they do
Hmm.
anything, and it kind of makes sense to why they don't follow through. It's because they didn't do the investigation, they didn't do the trapping, they didn't do the work, so
Hmm.
it could be tainted from our side. Not that any, I mean, not that anybody. I can't say that anybody wouldn't use it for their own ill will, but I get what they're saying. They since they didn't start the investigation and end it, they can't just show up and see somebody pointing finger, be like, "Oh, he's a," and then arrest him. Like I get
Yeah.
it, I understand. So I think going back to your question is start small, start maybe with your local request to speak to like the local chief of police and say, "Hey, we've got this going on. We've been responsible for this many exposures. We want to work with your local units, whoever's in charge of this, who handles these kind of crimes, and work on stings and work on setting these people up, or at least sharing resources to help you guys, pin the tail on the donkey." But the
Mm.
major issue that's above all of us right now is the end game of the punishment. Every state's
Yes.
different. Every local municipality is different. Cool. We let's say we right now we get on another one of these calls and we say, okay, in this area we've got to target these people. Cool. Let's set them up. Let's do all this. We spend 2 months baiting somebody. We corner them. We get them. Cops show up. We do the whole thing. They put cuffs on them. Cool. They go to court. They give them probation or some dumb shit, or release them because of some.
Exactly. Yep.
Then what? We burned our resources. We burned our decoys. We burned who we are. For what? To do what? So it's the same concept with like animal cruelty. We have dogfighting rings, abuses, sacrifices, that. But what's the point of having enforcement if there's no harsh punishment?
Yeah.
That's something G especially has always called for is we need more punishment for predators because you look at people are in jail going to jail longer for cannabis charges, drug charges, and they're
For petty.
usually
And for
But I
for our
think me
team,
and
it varied. Oh, go ahead.
no. You go. I mean, I think it just starts with local government, though. People don't understand this. Is like when I have arguments about the presidency and the. I'm not going to get into politics right now, but people always talk shit about the president and all this. And I'm like, look, if you actually gave a fuck, you should have voted in the primaries, or first vote in your state representatives. You stupid motherfuckers! Like the people that in your local governments are the ones who end up in that seat. So if you don't vote people to represent you at the state level and at the city level, you're not going to be heard. So unless we can get a state representative or a congressman or congresswoman to help lobby and to help change laws and to do anything, nothing's going to happen. Our work
Mm.
is not going to go anywhere until something happens where it's like, okay, if we catch you doing whatever this level of crime, you get this much time. If you do this much of the crime, you do this much time. If you do the whole crime, then you get the whole fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, there needs to be a structure and something needs to be written out. And somebody needs to sit with a governor. Somebody needs to sit with a representative. Somebody needs to sit with a congressman, a congresswoman, and say, hey, this is what's going on. We need help passing this through Congress or passing this through the state. And it starts with local government.
Exactly.
you're absolutely right.